Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with my hopefully regular Sunday night dinner. I need to make an adjustment in this. It's a little too... Didn't quite have it. There we go. I want to make sure I get the tray in frame. This is a Canadian IMP. This is one of their newer ones in the plastic bag. And whereas before the year of production used to be down here, either above or below the menu number, now it is on the back. See, it says IMP 20. It has nutritional information for the two items in the retort pouches, the main and the dessert. So with this packaging, for those that have not seen these before, they got rid of some of the stuff that was in there. You know, like some of the boxes and things like that. And the way these work is, you see this little thing that it's shaped like a dog bone. And you pull on this. And that opens it up. So you can open up the zipper to get at the contents, and this is a resealable bag. Now, I'm not back to using my table that I have used it in the past, and I hope to do that soon, so I'm just going to hold it in my left hand and start pulling things out. So we got a Wonder Bar. We got creamy peanut butter. Strawberry jam. I folded this drink packet over. So lemon lime drink. Got two of those. Let's see, got, I'm going to check. See, got spicy tuna rolls is here, Emphasis here so far. My crusher's in the house. Again, sorry about the shaking. It's just the nature of my phone mount. A packet of Tabasco. Espresso roast coffee. I have not had these in quite some time. So that is going to go into my delicious mug. Got the gusseted bottom beverage bag. Canadian beverage bags are far superior to the US ones. White book of matches, and this one has white tips. So this one is the Indian chicken. It just says it on the back as opposed to the front like used to be. So that is the first retort pouch. You have to kind of turn them up and out, like I'm doing this tortillas. Got 2 tortillas. This will be a substitute for an Indian style flatbread. Got a chocolate drink mix, which would be probably more like a chocolate shake. That was folded in there. And the other retort pouch is the fruit cocktail. Got the Canadian mint. Let's see, the maple leaf. That is a compressed towel, and it just requires a couple of drops of water to get it going. Little packet of Tic Tacs. Then you got the spork, which is the same color and a little longer than a USMRE spoon. And the old Canadian paper towel. And that is it for the bag. Because this is a Mylar bag, if necessary, you could put water in this to carry it. Or if you cannot eat the entire ration, then you just throw what you're not going to use back in it. Or you can use it to dispose of your trash. So since this thing has an additional drink mix in it, this shake it doesn't say how much to add. But this probably calls for a cup of water. And this is a zipper top bag. So I would need an additional glass to put that in. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up the drink. There's Camp Patton Family Compound in the house. Yep, I've gone north of the border. This menu was suggested to me by LC. And she showed me the eBay listing for it, and since this ration was already in the US, Gotta fix that. There we go. I went ahead and went for it. That way I wouldn't have to be concerned about any thievery. My fridge is kaput, so I don't have ice cold water. I'm just using the water bottle that I've been drinking out of. Yeah, we have been getting a lot of rain. We've had the wettest May in quite some time here in Des Moines. This mixes up so much easier than the American drink powders. I have not had this espresso roast in a long time. I think that was the first Canadian IMP. That's right, CR. I got one of your country's rations. And that was the coffee that was in there. I was expecting to get the sweet and creamy, so I did not bring out sugar or creamer, but that is what the coffee looks like. This thing still doesn't want to hang right. There we go. So that is what the sweet and creamy looks like. So since I need an additional cup for the shake, this thing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my tortillas right there. I'm going to put my fruit on top of the tortillas. And I'm going to take my main into the kitchen. And while I'm in there, I'll get a couple of things. And I'll be right back after I say hello to Ration M. Thanks for dropping in. That's just sugar and creamer I threw in there. There is Cliff in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Whoa, there was powder right at the top of the zip. I just saw a puff. There's Multi-Magnum here. Thanks for dropping in. This has a gusseted bottom. And to help it along, I'm going to give this a bit of a stir before I start shaking it. See, the fill line is just there. And I think I probably need a tad bit more in there, so I'm going to put another splash in there. I'm going to call that good. I'm squeezing some of the air out before I completely seal it. And I'm going to roll the top a couple of times. Just because I don't want to have a mess. In fact, I'm going to let it sit in there before I open it back up. Now these tortilla pouches have the same kind of serrated edge like you would find in American wrappings. Well, for the most part, yeah, there were a couple of snafus that had to be dealt with, like some missed things that did not get taken care of, which should have. But now I have to wait for tomorrow for my replacement fridge to come because it crapped out. So just getting rid of the tortilla wrapper and closing up my bottle. I'm pushing the, we got 2 tear notches here, got one here, and then one farther down here. I'm going to pull the top one. Well, that side was a complete fail, so. But I can still pour it out. In fact, this might even be better that it doesn't go all the way across because I can pour it out. And it looks like a cherry got smushed. There's still a piece that's stuck in there, and I want it out because I want to eat it. And for those just joining in, this is Canadian IMP Menu 17 from 2020. I let this sit long enough, I think. We'll see how this comes out. So that is the chocolate shake. I'm going to put that back there. Now this Wonder Bar feels like it took a bit of a beating on its way to me. We'll see how that looks. The wrapping kind of reminds me of a Butterfinger. But the chocolate itself looks in pretty good shape. Well, I think it kind of stuck. Yeah, I think this took a bit of heat damage. Although it's not bloomed, it's just not sliding out of the wrapping. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to split it some more, I guess. There we go. Yeah, look. Yeah, the caramel came out at the bottom. Oh, CR, you've never had a Wonder Bar? They're awesome. As much as I like getting a coffee crisp, I do not mind getting a Wonder Bar. So I'm going to angle it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and get the main out of the water. Bring it in and we'll see what their take on Indian chicken looks like. Okay, I am back. I'm just drying it off camera. And I'm going to pull the top tear notch. And this time I went all the way across. I can definitely smell the curry and the garam masala type spices that are in here. Very saucy. And it looks like black beans. That's either probably red bell pepper. And the chicken is very finely minced. Oh, time to give this a shot. Here it goes. Oh, not too bad. The chicken is pulled. I'm going to go for a bean. The beans are very soft. I think there's green bell pepper in here as well. And the veggies are extremely soft. They almost dissolve. But the flavor is very, very good. Yeah, they got this one pretty darn close to being right. I'm dipping the tortilla in this sauce. This would be awesome over rice. Which is typically how this would be done. Yeah, Elsie, this is a winner. I mean, although it would be nice if the vegetables were a little bit firmer. But yeah, I thank you for recommending this one. And I'm glad I was able to get my paws on it. And dipping the tortilla in it as if I would a non-style flatbread. Yep. This is the way to do it. These tortillas are actually not too bad. They're soft. Gonna take a taste of this espresso roast coffee. I didn't use as much water as I normally do for coffee, since it is an espresso roast. Gotta go back for more of this. Nation MRE Finds is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is from 2020. So if you can get a hold of this one, go for it. It's not too spicy. So for our pal on the left coast, this might be considered very mild for him. And you can always minimize it, mute the sound if you have to. We won't tell. The chicken is not dry. I like the texture of it. The veggies could be a little bit firmer. Other than that, this is really, really good. There's little bits of onion in here as well, I think. Now, I just checked the ingredients. There is onion in there. I like dipping the tortilla in the sauce. I'm going to take a taste of this lemon lime drink. It looks more lemon, not the excessively bright green that the USMRE drink mix would be. A little bit different flavor. Well, then I think the flavor would be just a little bit better if I had very cold water, but because I can't do that at this time until I get my new fridge, and that's supposed to be sometime tomorrow. So I had to take several trash bags full of stuff down to the dumpster. And I emptied containers that I want to keep. They will simply get washed real well. So very few items got saved from the fridge. So it is completely empty. There was a guy that came to repair it. He put a new part on it. That didn't work. So he recommended that the property management company replace it. but that will happen tomorrow. I hope I'm not cutting out. Then again, it could be my signal. I had some skipping with the stream that I was watching before I kicked out of it to get ready for this stream. If it's just buggy for one person, then maybe refresh and see if that does it. That usually works for me. See, if you mean my stash, my ration stash, I dipped into it for a couple of things, but I have been eating other non-perishable foods that don't require refrigeration. And Friday, when I came home after leaving the mosque, I did a couple of things there. There was a bag of chocolate dipped dates that had nuts filled in them, and then they were dipped in chocolate. They had been sitting there for a while, so I decided to just liberate them. There were not too many left in that bag, so not enough to bother with sharing, and plus we're not going to have a community dinner until next Saturday. So I brought those home, and I've been eating them. Of course, everybody's connection will be different. It could depend on weather. It could be something with the amount of traffic, internet traffic in your area. And it could be weather related. And we are supposed to get a side glance from CME, coronal mass ejection, from a solar flare that popped off a while, like a couple days ago. So we may get a side hit from that. Not too bad, just enough to make things a little buggy for some systems. And it might kick off an aurora at the poles. But that could mess with things. Nothing near as bad as last month when we had those massive solar storms from a succession of CMEs, solar flares. And people saw the aurora borealis, as far south as northern Mexico and the Caribbean islands. I don't know about the aurora australis, how far north people were able to see that. But I imagine some got a heck of a light show at night. Now I'm going to take a taste of this chocolate shake. And this would taste a whole lot better ice cold. But it does not taste like a protein shake. I think it's just a chocolate shake. I cannot taste anything that resembles the protein shakes that I've had. But that's actually a pretty good one. Only 45 minutes, yeah, you're slacking. You should have been hungry during the Garden State Gardener Live, where one of the guest hosts was eating her dinner. Yeah, they took over Joe's channel while he's out Ubering to try to get him some views, help out his channel, because he's going through a situation where his main job is ending soon, so he's trying to earn as much money from Uber, because he's an Uber driver. He's trying to earn as much money as he can. So these women took over the YouTube channel for today to have live going to try to get them a little ad revenue and viewer revenue, just to help them out. Oh, spicy, I wouldn't go. Are you referring to the shake or the Indian chicken? The texture of the shake is actually one you might expect from any normal chocolate shake powder. It's not grainy. It mixed up really well. Of course, I stirred it before I shook it, so I think that helped. But it seems to be pretty well mixed. Sometimes they don't mix well with super cold water. But because I'm using water from a bottle that I've been drinking out of for a while, it's almost room temperature, but I'm going with it. It is what it is. As my air conditioner kicks on and off. Typical of that thing to do. Yeah, Joe of Garden State Gardener and Grow Big TV. He's good people. His son is a cancer survivor and still has some health issues as a result, but he's one of those fighters that he just keeps that will to live going. despite the challenges. And the school that he goes to, or that he did go to, had an 8th grade graduation. So this August, or whenever the school starts in his city, he will be starting high school. Yep, that's right. We all have to fight whatever personal battles we may have, like me with the flood of my apartment. I'm still going through with the insurance company. But there's now a new tenant above me who replaced the idiot who caused the mess in the first place. So I'm glad to see that there is another occupant in the building. He may be lurking. I think he said he was kind of watching his six in case the boss might be looking. Yeah, he probably either completely kicked out or he minimized it and muted. I know one computer I had in the past, there was this desktop icon thing that if you're playing a game or doing something fun and you didn't want to get caught, as if I had the computer at work, or in school, then I could just hit this boss button and it would pop up something that resembles some kind of a spreadsheet or word processing document or something to that effect. And then when the boss danger passed, then I could take that down and go back to what I was doing. Yeah, tore the other tortilla in half so I could dip it into here. If this sauce was thicker, I probably would have tried to put some on the tortilla. But I do like dipping it in the sauce. Oops, sorry about that. I have my charging cable I'm repositioning that so I'm not hitting it. Okay, my chat just went away and see if I can bring that back. Okay. Okay, I got these stupid thumbnail things that I can't. There we go. I got rid of that. Thanks for dropping in, John. Hope to see you another time. And if you haven't had this menu, get it. I think you'll like it. I have a feeling this one might be right up the Magnum alley. That is a pretty nice espresso roast coffee. I do like that. But this chicken is definitely the stuff. I wouldn't mind having a lot more of this. If I get this main again, what I would do is I would get a pouch of the already prepared rice, like the Uncle Ben's rice or any other prepared rice that all you have to do is just heat it up. I would put some of that rice down and pour this main on top of it. I think that would be a really good way to enjoy this. It would be more authentic to how this dish would be eaten at home or in a restaurant, or if you are attending some Indian celebration. Or if you visit a mosque when they're having an iftar dinner during Ramadan and they serve something like this. Yeah, I get my rice on my plate and then something like this, I would just have it put right on top of it. That's how I would do it. I think Elsie was saying goodnight to Multi Magnum. I don't think she's kicking out yet. Well, that was pretty darn good. I do like the lemon lime drink paired with this. Kind of gives a little flavor contrast. I'm going to skip the peanut butter and the jelly for tonight. That's strawberry, or this is, oh, I was wrong. It's raspberry jam, not strawberry. I saw framboise and I'm thinking strawberry, but this says raspberry. So I don't know if framboise means raspberry and strawberry. I always thought it meant strawberry, but anyway. But I'm going to skip the peanut butter and jelly for tonight. Well, they just went back in here for the time being. Now this would be good with naan bread. Naan for those who are not familiar with it. It's a flat bread that's about the same thickness as some pita breads. You can find naan in more places these days. Usually, or in the past, you had to go to a specialty store to get it. But I think because more people have tried it and eaten it and have liked it, it's become more widely available. I've seen YouTubers take naans and use them as a pizza crust. Oh, speaking of cast iron pans, I hope you got a chance to check out that unusually shaped one that I found at a thrift store. It's got a bit of rust on it, but I think it looks awesome. And I put a magnet on it just to make sure that it is cast iron, and it is. I'm going to get into this fruit cocktail. It looks very dark. Doesn't have the bright color that I would expect from a Canadian fruit. Sorry about that, I bumped the foam out. It's very soft. It tastes like it's in a light syrup mixed with fruit juices. And there are bits of cherry in here. But the flavor is still perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with the flavor. You see this Wonder Bar, the caramel leaked out of it, so I'm going to go ahead and take a bite out of this end first. There's a crispy inside that is not quite as hard as what you would find in a Butterfinger, and it does not have the same flavor as a Butterfinger, but it's still a very, very good bar. I wish we could get these here in the US, just like I wish we could get Coffee Crisp here. I could order Coffee Crisp online, I think probably Amazon, but I think it's still more fun to be surprised at what you would get when you open up a Canadian ration. Oh, the Coffee Crisp bar. If you like coffee flavor, I think you'll really enjoy that one. Oh, yum. I bet that one would be awesome. There's a double coffee crisp. I have had that one. I got that one in a box of stuff that I got from CT one time, I think last year. It's kind of like a thicker version of those wafer bars, the thin wafer bars that are dipped in chocolate. It's kind of like that, but they can be big. But you got to get a hold of one of those. Kirkut Chunky, I don't know about that. That I'm not familiar with. There is one candy that is made right here in Iowa called Twin Bing. It's two cherry cream filled chocolate nuggets with, I think it's very finely chopped nuts or Rice Krispies in it to make it a little crunchy. I think, no, it's peanuts. It's finely chopped peanuts. And now there's another one that's in a green and white wrapper as opposed to a red and white one. But I had that once already. I like it. I just can't think of the flavor, name of the flavor right now. I think it's a mint one. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of a mint flavor, but it's called Twin Bing, and they're made right here in Iowa. Oh, Tim Tams. Yeah, it's Tim Tam. Those are awesome too, and you can buy those on Amazon. Oh, the Kit Kat Chunky. I don't think I've had the Kit Kat Chunky. I've had some of the other Kit Kat versions. But I have not tried the chunky one. I think LC's autocorrect got to her. Yeah, the Kit Kat or the Big Cat. Then there's the white chocolate one. But I don't wander the candy aisles too much. Most of the time I'm usually focused on other things, but I will wander the candy aisle occasionally. I think what I should do is I should buy the Twin Bing, both the original cherry and the newer mint one. I should buy one of each, take a picture of it, and then split one in half to show the inside, take a picture of that, and then post that up on my community tab. I should do that. I don't know how widely they are sold here in the US or if it's just a Midwest thing. Oh, awesome. So Mike has had the twin big. So if you like mint, I think you would like the newer version. Take a drink of coffee and then take a bite of this. Or maybe just for the heck of it. See, I hope you did eat something on Sundays when I wasn't streaming. Thanks for dropping in, Mike. Yeah, that is so cool that Aletha sent him some twin bigs. I know a few others in here might enjoy them. The question is, would it be not too expensive to send them to a few people? I wouldn't mind sharing those around. And I'm getting to the bottom of this. Just like hot cocoa, sometimes you have to stir this up occasionally. Seems like these drinks want to separate as they sit. Also, I don't know if you noticed that you're not seeing the shadow from my ceiling fan blades. The flood damaged the ceiling fan motor, so it's kaput. The lights in it still work, but the motor in the fan is completely gone, and they will not replace it. Now, if the lights didn't work, then they would simply put up a light fixture and not another ceiling fan. since that's what was done in the other apartments that got renovated starting in 2020. So as each apartment got vacated, they renovated it, but just put up just a light fixture, not a ceiling fan in the living room. And I told the management here exactly how I feel about not being able to have a ceiling fan. Yeah, I'm not either, CR, but it is what it is, and a tabletop fan that's on a pedestal, that one also got messed up. That one has already been documented for insurance when someone came out to document what she called soft goods, meaning anything fabric or electronics. So she came out, took some information, took some pictures. So that's already in the record. But because the ceiling fan belongs to the building, that will not be covered as far as my insurance policy. That's totally on the property management to deal with that. And trying to get the previous tenant who caused the problem in the first place to pay up. Because 3 apartments were damaged. The one below me, they got the floor replaced because the floor tiles got all warped. It's that synthetic stuff to make it look like wood. That and the pad or whatever material was put down on top of the subfloor, that got all messed up. So she had to get her floor in her living room redone. Plus whatever other personal property that got damaged that couldn't be saved. You know, so yeah, that person is responsible for damage to 3 apartments. Whether the management is able to get anything out of them, I don't know. But this is not the first apartment flood I've dealt with. I dealt with it in another place I lived. That was caused by the idiot above me, but that manager wanted to blame me for all of it. Yeah, I still have my original carpet that was in here when I moved in. And they're not going to do anything about it. I guess it has a different pad under it. And the subfloor is this cement board type stuff, which has cracked and in some spots is completely worn away. So I now have to keep a board over top of a hole in my floor where the carpet itself is worn away. Yeah, my chair would dip into that hole and it just kept getting deeper and deeper and snagging on that carpet fiber. So what I need to do, they keep telling me to fill it. I mean, it would be my own expense, whichever way that's handled. So ideally, I would just like to get something to fill it and then put one of those solid office chair mats in front of my desk, and so my chair would be on top of that and it wouldn't be getting into that hole. But I'm not going to bother with that until I get this flood mess dealt with and I can find out when I can actually throw away some things that are too far gone that can't be cleaned or salvaged. I sent in some pictures of some things. Plus, I've been sending receipts and some bill copies. I just got my electric bill for this past month, so I'm going to send pictures of it to do an electric usage comparison from April when they ran these high power fans and heaters and ran my heater on full blast, plus the suction system to try to get the water out of the carpet and the pad. And that took over a week just in that process alone, after they cleared all the crap that had fallen from the ceiling. And they had to wait for that drying process to get done before they could do any repairs. So I had stuff out on my deck, and when they needed this floor almost completely empty in here, I had stuff on my bed, plus what I have in the bathroom, which I still do. I've cleared out the kitchen, at least the floor, so that I could use my fridge, but my countertop is still full of stuff that someone's setting off firecrackers already. I don't know if you heard that, but I did. And my slider is shut. But yeah, I still got a mess of stuff. I don't know what I can try to move back. It's like I'm waiting on someone to tell me it's okay to start doing that. And the insurance company wants receipts for everything. Even if something was a gift, or if I wanted to claim as a loss the 2 tables that I made in shop class. It's like, how can I have a receipt for something that I made in the 80s in a shop class? Oh, sorry. I don't want to yell, but if you're the only one who can't hear me, then it might be your connection. I haven't seen anyone else saying that they can't hear me. But anyways, I was saying they want receipts for everything that I want to claim. But if something was a gift, I have no idea. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I had my slider open, you probably would have been able to hear that. But they've been doing that the past few nights. But yeah, I try to tell them, you know, this one thing I've had for 18 years. This other, maybe 15 or 16. There were, the one was a gift, a down coat, a wool coat that I have. It was a dumpster find. It was hanging on the dumpster, on the side of the dumpster at the previous place I lived. I thought, someone left this here. It's been there a while. I don't want it to get wet, so I brought it in thinking maybe if it's good enough shape, maybe it can go to a homeless person. But then I tried it on and it fit me, so I kept it. And now it's like 2010, 2009 or 2010. And the down coat, I think I've had probably since 2008. There were, how can I provide a receipt for something that I either found or was a gift that long ago? And of course I told him that, you may say that a picture is proof of ownership, but what if someone wants to say that I don't own it, I do not have it legally, like I stole it? Because I don't have a receipt for that, I have no idea of value. So all I did was just send pictures of it, close up of the label, and I'll leave it that. Probably wouldn't give me much anyway, even if they choose to approve that item. I stayed a couple nights in a hotel. I submitted some food, grocery receipts. Of course, the one I marked off an item, and because it was not a food item, it was something I bought for the mosque, and I actually bought two of them. A couple of those wire mesh debris traps for a kitchen sink. That'll go above a disposal, because the last one that we had got tossed. I think it broke. So I was in an Asian store buying a couple of things, so I'll take a couple of these. I'll buy them for the mosque, and they were not all that expensive anyway, so that's why I got two. So I said, do not count that. These are for the mosque, so ignore those. So the thing is, for a hotel stay, you have to pay for it and then submit for reimbursement. And the only money I had at the time was gift money. So I used that, and I got a couple of nights in a hotel. I had stuff on my bed. I still have stuff in my tub, so when I wash up at the sink still. Well, my personal policy is only for my stuff. It's the building policy that will cover the repairs, but then they are trying to I don't know whether or not they succeeded or not, because I don't want to get into that with, you know, I don't want them to think that I'm trying to get something that I'm not entitled to have, but because a person caused the damage, maybe, and they think intentionally, but there's no way I could know that for sure. But that person was supposed to pay for the damage to reimburse the property management company for the repairs to the 3 damaged apartments. But their insurance would cover it anyway, but or most of it. I don't know what their policy would cover for something like this. Oh, I hope no one was saying you're drunk. Chosuk is here. Sorry you missed it. Indian chicken from 2020. See, the year of production is on the back of the IMP bag. And they put the nutritional information for the main and the dessert on the back. Resealable bag. And this is a pretty tough plastic bag, so this is not going on the trash. I'm going to hold on to this thing. Heck, I could use this to keep some things dry, like for camping. I mean, this is a pretty stout looking zipper. Yeah, I'm holding on to that bag. But to summarize it, the flavor of the chicken, Indian chicken, was very good. It was a pulled chicken, so not overly processed, not ground. But the black beans and the veggies melted. They're very, very soft. They pretty much disintegrate in your mouth. But the spices were there, not too spicy. I did pick up the curry. I picked up a bit of the garam masala flavor. And there were tortillas in there, which would take the place of a non-flatbread. This is a lemon lime sports drink. It has more lemon than the lime flavor, and it's not as sweet as the American version. And it's obviously not the same color. And this is a chocolate shake, not a protein shake. It would be somewhat like the chocolate dairy shake that you would get in a U.S. ration. But as it sits, you kind of have to keep stirring it around. Otherwise, it kind of separates and settles. But it just tastes like a chocolate shake that you would get anywhere. And the coffee is the espresso roast, not the 3-in-1. I added my own creamer and sugar to it. And I didn't use as much water as I normally do when I do a coffee. And this is in the delicious mug that he sent me. Got his channel logo on there. That would be his YouTube handle, Delicious MRE. And then trying to get it to focus. That is his Polish web address. The PL stands for Poland, since that's where he lives. I hope you could read that. If not, it shows up better when, in the video where I did the unboxing of this mug. So this is now my review mug for any of my hot drinks. And the Foreign Emery mug will be backup. See if I have more than one hot drink that I want to do, then I'll add that one. Of course, drinking jar. Now, these IMPs come with 2 packets of the drink powder. I used one. I'll hold on to the other one for another time. The candy bar was the Wonder Bar. When this stream goes to replay later, if you want, you can watch me take everything out of the bag. But other YouTubers have opened up the Wonder Bars from the IMPs that they've gotten, or from finding them in goodie boxes they've gotten from other people. But the Wonder Bar is really good. I wish we could get that here in the US. I got this ration off of an eBay seller who is already in the US, so I didn't have to worry about any thievery. I have to be careful where I get my foreign rations from. So I either have to find them that are already here in the US, or someone already has it in their possession and sends it to me. Yeah, he was in a Smoky stream last night. He's probably still on the road, depending on wherever he is at. Yep. Well, I do have a Casey's just a few blocks from here. I have not yet gone in there. I haven't had a Casey's pizza in a Coon's age. But he has been to some Casey's locations here in Iowa whenever he has come into this state. Now, I'm promising him all these pizzas. Oh, there is no way I could do that. I would probably equal to 4 months worth of rent. Oh yeah, someone better do that. I don't think Fishy has any Casey's out his way. He would have to come east to find the nearest Casey's. Unless he calls up, orders online, and gets DoorDash to deliver. Because if you want a Casey's pizza delivered, you have to go through DoorDash. But a Casey's pizza that I would get would have to have something other than that pepperoni, since it's pork pepperoni and I don't eat pork, so I would have to get one of their other ones. On to next week. I don't know if I'm going to be available next Sunday. It all depends on an event that is being considered for the mosque for our next Eid holiday. It would actually be after that, a week after that, but the time that is being considered would be not next weekend, but the weekend after. So the 23rd is next Sunday. It would either be Saturday the 29th or Sunday the 30th. Sorry, that's not focusing. That's another phone that I use as a backup for internet. I replaced the Galaxy S5 that I used to have for that. That just quit working properly. But if that takes place on the 30th, then I will not stream. But on the 23rd, I will. And I'll have to think about what I want to pull out of the old ration box. I have everything I need to do a full Polish meal except for the Polish special biscuits. All those ones that I got from Delicious that I did a comparison video of. I later ate all those, so I don't have any of those left. I got those Russian ones, and I tasted those. Those are perfectly fine. They taste fresh. So I will probably just substitute those. even though they will not have the caraway flavor that I really like about those Polish ones. But I could do that. Or I could do some other things that I have. I'll have to think about that for next Sunday. But once I know about the weekend after next, then I'll go ahead and toss up a post about whether or not I will be streaming that Sunday or not. But next Sunday for sure. And even if I have to use the same setup with the old TV tray that I originally started out with when I first got into doing this, after I won that first MRE from Stick It Finger 745. No, the way. Sorry, brief disconnect there. Yeah, my long term food storage, I have buckets. I had a few things that were not in buckets, like boxes of tea bags that I thought would be at least fine in their cellophane wrappings until I could find a better way to store them. But looking them over, nope, they got compromised, so I took pictures of them. I emailed them to the insurance adjuster. But the way I keep a lot of other things stored in plastic bags inside of another bag that's water resistant, at least, if not waterproof, or inside of a plastic bucket with a lid. I'll just tilt this up. Sorry about that. See that bucket there? That stack of buckets? I hope I didn't pop your ears. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what I do for a lot of my long-term food storage. You know, like Mylar bags. And I put them in buckets. Yeah. Yeah, that, my Instant Pot, that was not affected because it's inside of this box. And this box didn't get too wet, so my Instant Pot is fine. My Opus power station that I won in a Facebook giveaway, I ran that through a cycle. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's, I went to take my, I wanted just to tilt this, but the jaw came open and the phone dropped out, so Sorry about that. I didn't mean to drop you down into my tray like that. What I would really like to do is find a place that I can put a lot of my preps to get them out of here. But because I don't drive, I just can't haul tail to a storage locker, put them in there. Someone would have to help me do that. It's either that or I find someone local who would be willing to store them for me. And I would make some arrangement, either a trade, say you can have, I will give you something in exchange for storing these for me, or I pay you for use of a bit of your space, or something like that. That would be something I would like to do to get them out of here. Because I want to have them in a place where I would be able to get to them should something happen to this apartment and I lose what's here. You know, we've had some apartment fires in this city not all that long ago, and plus all the tornadoes that destroyed a whole bunch of houses and other buildings in several towns here in Iowa, including Greenfield, which is not all that far away from here. Oh, there is CT. We were talking about you earlier. Are your ears itching? Somebody mentioned Casey's Pizza. And no, I have not been to that Casey's. That's just a few blocks from me. I still have not gone in there yet. I'll go buy it enough. I need to go in there and just look at their pizzas. There's Shadow Scout Swede. Well, this is what you missed. Indian chicken from 2020. And I would definitely recommend it. I haven't had a Casey's Pizza in a coon's age. Well, CT, I happen to like this one. Unfortunately, the veggies and the beans are quite soft. I did like the texture of the chicken. I did like the flavor. I did like dipping the tortillas in the sauce, as opposed to just slapping the peanut butter and the jelly on it. And this shake, it would have tasted better with ice cold water, but because my fridge has been out, I don't get water that cold out of the tap. But it doesn't have that typical protein shake taste. It just tastes like any other chocolate shake powder to me. Call it good for that. And I got the espresso roast instead of the 3-in-1. Yeah, my fridge crapped out. A repairman came to try to fix it. He put a fan motor on it. But all that did was repair the fan. It didn't help the compressor any. He came back again. Said, nope, this thing is dead. Got to get a new one. So I have to wait till tomorrow. So I chucked everything into my freezer except for my ice packs that I've always kept in there. I chucked a lot of stuff out of the fridge. Well, anything that would have been perishable, pretty much, yeah. Some condiments, and I kept in there, like my condiment packets, that were supposed to be shelf stable. I'm fine with those. I'm not concerned about those. My Parmesan cheese that I always keep in the fridge, even though they say you don't have to. I just do. But all the meat that I had in the freezer, the butter that I had in there, some other things that I had in there. Yeah, everything got tossed except for my ice packs, the reusable kind. Yep, those are now sitting in a Ziploc bag. Some of them got a bit of a wipe because they got stuff on them, so I cleaned them off. I have water bottles in the fridge and a few other things that really didn't need to be refrigerated, but I just stuck them in there because, maybe I like that cold. So the last few things that I pulled out of there are going to get taken out after the stream because this trash is going to go in there. And then that's going out to the dumpster. And I sprayed it with cleaner and used some disinfecting wipes to not only clean it, but to cut down the smell because it was starting to stink. Oh, DeCarlos Perry is here. That's okay. I had the 2020 IMP Menu 17, the Indian chicken. That's okay. You can always catch it on the replay later at a more convenient time. Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into the live stream so bad, but because of this flood issue, I had to delay it. I still haven't planted anything out on my deck because I had stuff out on my deck for a while. But today I made the decision, I'm just not going to plant anything out on the deck. I'm going to skip the deck garden for this year. I don't want to do that, but it's just how it's going to be. But that doesn't stop me from maybe picking up the odd seed packet now and then. And I did check over my seed containers, my seeds, because I have them in plastic bags inside of plastic containers with lids. They are fine. Yeah, they survived the flood. I unfortunately lost some seeds that I was trying to save out of some cherry tomatoes. They got messed up. I had them on a plate to dry, but they got messed up, so they became compost fodder. I can't grow tomatoes here anyway, but I was going to try to save those seeds and dry them so that I could maybe trade them with someone else. Yeah, this it's more so dealing with the insurance, and I don't know when I can try to get my stuff rearranged back the way I want it, because I don't know what or when I can get rid of things that I have put a claim on, and I haven't, I'm not sure if they're going to do anything else inside my apartment as far as work goes. I get the new fridge tomorrow. So everything in here is just a jumbled mess. Yeah, and the way the insurance company works, you have to submit for reimbursement, and it's up to them to decide whether or not they're going to do it. And the 2 nights that I stayed in a hotel, I had to pay for that up front. They will not direct pay the hotel. And I only had enough gift money on me at the time for 2 nights. And I got the cheapest room the hotel had, which happened to be the last one that they had open. It had just come open, and they wanted me to get a deluxe room. And I said, I don't care about that. All I want is a bed and a shower. I don't care about anything else. That's all I want. I don't care if it's a box, just a cracker box of a room. Just a bed and a shower is all I want. Had a mini fridge that didn't have anything in it, so I could put my own stuff in there if I wanted, and I did. Had a Keurig coffee maker in there, so I used that. And of course, I do what any sensible person would do. Anything that is consumable that they leave in the hotel, like the little bars of soap, the little tiny toiletry items, the coffees or the teas or whatever that you don't use, I take them. Yeah, I bring those home. Yeah, me too. I have been wanting to get back into streaming since after Ramadan ended, but because of this mess that I dealt with, that got delayed. And because it happened at the start of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, I spent those nights in the mosque instead of coming home after the late night prayer. So you know, I did not have to try to sleep through this mess with all the wetness of the floor until they put stuff in my tub. You know, I came home Monday morning on April 1st to take a shower and change clothes, just spend enough time, check my mail, make sure that my cat has food and water. Take care of any other little things that I needed to do, and then go right back to the mosque to start working on the next night's dinner, and room setup and all that. The property management guy was there, said, "I've been looking for you." I thought, oh crap, I did something wrong. I'm going to be booted. He said, "No, you got a mess." So I can imagine when that guy had gone up there, I can imagine him literally picking his jaw up off the floor. I did some, my short video, which I just titled This Mess. That shows a basic idea of how bad it was. And then I did a couple of other update videos since. And I put the words "this mess" in the title just to kind of tie them together. But yeah, those nights that I actually spent in the mosque was actually a good thing for me, because I didn't have to try to deal with this mess at night. Plus, with all the musty smell, the less time I spend in here, the better. So I didn't have to breathe as much of it in. And my cat stayed out of the living room as much as she could because the carpet was wet. Now, she likes getting her paws wet, but only in clean water. She'll dip her paws in her water bowl and then lick her paws as if she's scooping up water to drink like that. Yeah, she's a weird cat, but maybe I like weird cats. But I had to dump a good portion of her cat food that I had in the feeder, and then I cleaned that out and just left it to dry, and then put food in a couple of other bowls. What was not wet that was in that feeder that actually holds a 3.15 ounce bag of cat food. I could put a whole one of those bags in there. But I buy bigger bags of cat food, so I just scoop out enough to fill it, and that usually lasts for 3 weeks. So I dumped about a week's worth of cat food. So I put in a claim on that loss of Pumpkin's cat food. Whether or not they'll approve that, I don't know. You know, if they don't approve anything, I wouldn't be surprised. They're still insisting I provide receipts for everything, even if it was a gift or something I found or something I made. And they know very well that's not going to happen. I've only had to sprout open one of my books that got a little bit wet, so I spread that open because it was in a different spot than my other ones. But it's not a loss, you know. It's the pages, none of the pages disintegrated, they're not stuck together or anything like that. It just needed to be allowed to dry, and it's still laying in the position it was when I put it down to dry. So I don't have as big of a loss as I could have had, as I said earlier, because of the way that I have my dry food stored. That's okay. I'm probably going to go ahead and call this one done anyway, since I'm about to knock back the last of my coffee. So next week I will stream. As far as June 30, I don't know. I will have to wait on when an event that is being planned will take place on the 29th or the 30th at my mosque. I don't know that yet. But as soon as I do know, I'll go ahead and toss a post up. So if it's on Saturday, then I will miss Smokey's stream and I will miss Gil's Saturday stream. But if it's on Sunday, I will not go live. Because I might not leave the mosque until dark. I don't know. It all depends on when it starts and how long it runs, and then cleanup time after that, because I stayed and helped with that. But I'm definitely going to be doing something next Sunday. What it is yet, I will have to decide that, but when I do, I'll toss a post up about it to let you all know what will be meeting my tray next Sunday. But I do want to thank you all for hanging out, and for those that came in late. When this is ready to be watched on replay, you can hit it at your convenience. Yeah, notifications are a real bugger because I don't get all the notifications I should. Yeah, it's all over YouTube. A lot of YouTubers are complaining about that. So that's just an ongoing issue that they gotta solve so that everybody gets the notifications that they deserve. But anyway, I do want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Again, I will be using this one for my reviews for a time. Thanks to Delicious for sending this mug to me. It's awesome. But what goes in it next week? Have to wait and find out. Anyway, thanks for watching and catch you on the flip side.